And now, back to Your Retirement Matters with Arlene Brown.
And welcome back, folks. Just a reminder, you can email Arlene Brown at Arlene, A-R-L-E-N-E, at yourretirementmatters.net, or you can give her a call anytime, 678-741-5334. And our first question today is from Larry of Powder Springs, who says, I have $280,000 in a CD that is up for renewal on the 15th of April, but the interest rates are very low. I went to see this guy who advertised a high interest rate on the first $20,000. It was a come-on, of course, because he wants me to put the entire amount into a Prudential annuity. What are my alternatives?
Well, it really depends, Larry, on your situation. I know it's a frustrating answer to your question because it depends, okay? But what I would like to do is invite you to go through a 3-step review process so we can look at your entire financial situation instead of just dealing in that particular issue. Because I don't know what your whole situation is and what is the money for, what are your goals, and also how this will affect in your future taxes. So there's a lot of pieces that we need to put together. So instead of just focusing on this money, we can look at the entire picture. And I may suggest, or I may recommend an annuity, not necessarily Prudential. I may not. Okay. Now, I am sorry that you were in that situation where it was a come on, and the guy advised you to put your money in a Prudential annuity, without going through a process with you, without sitting down and making sure that it will be suitable for you. At this point, I don't know if an annuity is suitable for you. I don't know what are the other alternatives that are available to you.
You need to go through the 3-step process.
Yes, we need to go through the 3-step review process, and the 3-step review process are going to look at the tax issues, look at the income planning, how it will affect not only your current income but future income. Make sure that you will have adequate income, and also your risk tolerance for investment planning.
Here's a question now from a listener who says, Arlene, I bought Apple stock at $362. Now it's $330. And this gentleman, Scott from Smyrna, wants to know if he should sell his stock.
Well, Scott, so you bought Apple a few weeks ago at its peak, $362. Now it's actually, before I left, I think it's $337 now. So it's $25 less than when you bought it. Now, I don't want to answer the question yes or no, or like in the Congress up and down vote, because I want to know, why did you buy the stock in the first place? Okay, what was your goal? You see, you don't just sell a stock because it went down in value. You sell a stock because, number one, it did not, your goal has changed, and holding the stock does not warrant you to remain holding it because your goals have changed, all right? And it will not help you to meet your goal, so you need to get rid of it. But you really need to know why you bought the stock. And it's also the same thing. When you buy a stock, you don't buy a stock at the time that it is high, all right? You buy the stock when it's lower. So now you don't want to sell the stock because it's a lower price, okay? So what you're doing, if you are going to sell the stock, that's the opposite concept of true investing.
All right, thank you. Here's a question now from Jessica. It's a good question here. She says, I've been unemployed for almost 2 years now, and she wants to know why unemployment is still so high. She feels like the economy is recovering, or at least she thought so. Where are the jobs?
Well, I hear you, Jessica. Millions of Americans are asking the same question. Where are the jobs? But there are a lot of reasons. But one of the reasons unemployment is at high level because banks are still hoarding the cash. There's more money available in the banking industry ever. Okay, but the problem is they're not lending it to anyone. Okay, or they're not lending it to where it should be. They're not lending it to the housing sector. They're not lending it to new businesses. They're not lending it, period. They're just hoarding it. So they are not lending it in areas that would open up job opportunities.
Oh, there you have it. Here's a question now from Drew of Hiram, Georgia. He says, I withdrew $35,000 from my Roth IRA because he was unemployed. And he wants to know how he can avoid paying penalties. How can he avoid paying penalties?
He actually means the early withdrawal penalty. So he is he's less than 59 and a half. Well, if you lost your job, okay, you don't have to pay the 10% penalty. Okay, but the 10% penalty is really depending on let's say, for example, you did not lose your job. All right, this is just ordinary reasons that you took $35,000. Now, it depends on the character of funds, okay? First, if it is a contribution, okay, let's say, for example, out of your $35,000, your contribution was $25,000, and your account made $10,000, correct? So, and let's say you are less than 59 and a half, but the account is less than 5 years as well, okay? So, whatever you put in, there's no taxes. Okay, there's no penalty. So the $25,000, you are not going to be penalized because that was your principal. The $10,000 that the account made, then there would be 10% penalty, and of course, ordinary income. And again, you are not also going to pay the 10% penalty if the account or the funds inside the account, the Roth IRA, has been there for 5 years, even if you are below 59 and a half. If the funds has already been there more than 5 years, you don't have to pay the 10% early withdrawal penalty.
Great answer. And that's going to do it for this week's edition of Your Retirement Matters with financial advisor Arlene Brown. Folks, whether you have a question about how you can maximize your retirement account, or whether you want some, part, or all of your money in a safer place, call Arlene Brown at 678-741-5334 to take advantage of her 3-step review process and avoid having money falling through the cracks. You can go to her website at yourretirementmatters.net. Remember, yourretirementmatters.net. You can also visit her Facebook page under the same name, Your Retirement Matters. Again, that's 678-741-5334. Arlene?
Ladies and gentlemen, until next time, may God hold you in the hollow of His hand. And let's continue praying for our brothers and sisters in Japan and the ladies and gentlemen in the military.
You've been listening to Your Retirement Matters with Arlene Brown. If you're retired or planning for retirement, tune in each Saturday and Sunday morning at 9:30 for important investment advice. Your Retirement Matters with Arlene Brown, only on News Talk 1160, the talk of the town.